So I've thought about the budget a lot this year and since the spring. I have lots of ideas, but I cannot achieve any of them because I need all of you to do it. So I want to let you know that I am reliable for showing up, ready to work. I am all about the work, very tactical. I want to seek action to change what's no longer working or what we do by tradition that just can't fly anymore. I would like to experience the trust in us that we know what needs to be provided to deliver the education our community wants and the salaries that will retain our people. I'd like a tone of understanding and if it's not understood yet, to seek understanding. I am reliable for working to hold my executive accountable, and it's our board that holds the executive accountable, and my peers are all of you others on the Board of Supervisors. I work with you, so I want to keep partnering. Look, we are at the mercy of changes and decisions that we don't control, and the human capital cost is real. And I would love to argue the moral imperative for public education, but I'm defaulting more to the economic imperative. But I just for a moment want to share that, we are working in a historic time where it is the systems we have relied on for decades, they're gone. And if we thought it was tough a few months ago, please understand there are no metrics. There is no trajectory. There's no patterns. So just know that we are trying to do all of that we can, as much as you all are, but with a microscope on us all the time, okay? And working to educate children whose brains are not fully developed, and parents who are trying to parent those children, and parents who might have lost their jobs trying to parent those children with partially developed frontal lobes. That's where we're at, okay? I am heartened by let me just share this. So getting to my tactical nature, we need to do the work together. So what do? How do we meet more often? I got to be honest, I wanted to come to some of those supervisors' meetings, but they were all scheduled during our board meetings. So I'm aware that you all will be putting your calendar together for the year. Can we co-calendar so that we can be available to come to your meetings? And likewise, I would invite the Board of Supervisors, come on January 22nd and see our superintendent present the budget. Please be one of the 10 people in the audience who come and hear the budget. And I would love to reciprocate and do the same if it's not during a scheduled school board session. But really, what are we going to do to work more together? The Joint Committee on Facilities has been great so far. We're doing work. The staff are working together. Do we need to do that more? It's not just a special committee, right? Like, can we make that how we do business? The legislative stuff. How about one legislative approach, right? How about one packet, one combined effort? A unified program. Again, our calendar, also the advertised budgets. They are a little bit further away on the calendar this year, on the schedule, but they could be further. Now, granted, I hope that none of us are surprised at what the executives present publicly. I think we all should know beforehand what each of us are going to present. But however, perhaps even more time will allow us to do that work better. What I've learned from this joint committee is we got to understand more about the policies, the funds, the history. Of all three agencies, that's a big learning. The county, the schools, and the parks. Spending 2 years working on a land use issue, that is a failure of all three of the agencies. That is not acceptable to residents. We've got to figure that stuff out, and I think it happens with us all at the table. Communication protocols. How do I get the Weldon Cooper report? What could be a regular protocol that we're ensuring that the Board of Supervisors has meetings? I wonder, do you want to see our presentations? Do you want to see reports? How do we tactically do this stuff, knowing that no more than two of us can speak on an email? I also think we really need to get to apples. I feel like a lot of times we're talking about wages, and it's very different. We're talking about our buildings, it's very different. We need to know what the useful life is of our stuff, and the rate of usage, because then we can get that one Fairfax look rather than, well, this is how much a school building is or this is how much another building is. But ultimately, and I want to learn, public-private partnership, that's just something we started dabbling in this year. And I was pretty amazed to hear that the supervisors, you already do that. What I want to do, what I would love is a relationship where the supervisors are kind of like the older siblings, right? Yeah, sometimes we might, make you a little bit annoyed, but you overall want us to succeed, right? We're in it together. You want to protect us. You're going to stand up for us but you're not going to let us not do the work. Okay, and so in closing, I will say that I think we have challenges that are the same and some that are different. The longer I serve, the more humbled I am at the billions of dollars that I feel responsible for. I have got to do something different, and I hope that we can all see that our residents are counting on us right now to do something different. So, Mr. Chairman, I think that it's time for One Fairfax to shine.